Yeah.
From I'm always saying from my experiences with him.
Yeah.
But as a fighter, I just
beast.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Keep him around. You got a
That's
gem.
more important.
It's extraordinary gem.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about sellability. You want to talk about marketability. What's more marketable than a giant man who destroys everyone?
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Yeah. So true.
Drove me nuts.
But yeah, Tom Aspinall, you know, I'm going to be sweating. I've done a fucking 3 years of propaganda campaigns for him. Really put him over. And if he doesn't pull this one off,
he's got to.
Then I'm going to worry about it. But there's so much pressure on him.
Yes. Ciryl Gane, he's a very big athletic heavyweight, right? Like he's got some good wins. And I just want to see Tom Aspinall more active. I feel we've lost a couple years of seeing him active, and I'm excited for him just to get out there and just fight, just to see him fight.
The heavyweight division is heating up again, and then all eyes are on Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane. These two elite fighters are about to collide in what many are calling one of the most skillful heavyweight matchups in years. Fans and analysts everywhere are debating who has the edge. From explosive striking to surprising speed, the talk around this fight is non-stop, and everyone's got an opinion on how it'll play out.
I'm taking Aspinall, for sure.
Should be Tom. It should be, but we'll see.
Oh, it's Tom. It's got to be Tom. Yeah, like I would always back him.
As Tom Aspinall is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, what's the first step for him?
You give him the one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
I think you're absolutely right. Fight that makes sense. Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Let's make that happen. Ciryl Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
Joe Rogan didn't mince words when it came to Tom Aspinall. You could immediately hear the excitement in his voice. That tone he reserves for the truly exceptional. Rogan described Tom as a rare combination of precision, power, and composure. The kind of fighter who captures attention the moment he steps inside the cage. Throughout the conversation, Rogan made it clear that Aspinall isn't just another heavyweight, he's something special. He even hinted that the UFC should do everything possible to keep him front and center, almost sounding like he knew Aspinall could define this era of heavyweight fighting. What impressed him most was how effortlessly Tom balances speed and calmness, mixing confidence with devastating strength. Rogan didn't need to say it outright. His admiration said it all. Everyone listening knew exactly what he meant. Tom Aspinall is built differently.
From I'm always saying from my experiences with him. But as a fighter, I just make it happen. Keep him around. You got a
That's
gem.
more important.
It's extraordinary gem.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about sellability. You want to talk about marketability. What's more marketable than a giant man who destroys everyone? He's the guy.
Yeah. So true.
Drove me nuts.
When Demetrius Johnson and MMA Guru sat down to discuss Aspinall versus Gane, the tone was serious yet full of anticipation. They both felt that this matchup could bring back the excitement the heavyweight division has been missing. Guru admitted he's been backing Tom for a long time, almost like he's emotionally invested in seeing him rise to the occasion. He talked about how this fight puts Tom under enormous pressure, but also how certain fighters perform their best when the spotlight is brightest. In his eyes, this might be the moment when Aspinall proves why he's meant to be at the top.
Vision is going to be going again for the, the title's going to be active. It should be a sick card. I mean, other than that, after those
Jailton Almeida, Alexander Volkov is on that same card as well. So there's a good heavyweight. It's a good heavyweight movement card, for the division. But yeah, Tom Aspinall, I'm going to be sweating. I've done a fucking 3 years of propaganda campaigns for him. Really put him over. And if he doesn't pull this one off,
he's got to.
Then I'm going to worry about it. But there's so much pressure on him.
Yes.
He's one of those few fighters where when there's more pressure, I trust him more.
Yeah.
Because when the stakes are highest, you said this about Patchy Mix, sometimes guys are gym fighters.
Yep.
I think Tom's did the opposite.
Their comparison between the two heavyweights set the perfect stage. Ciryl Gane, smooth, technical, and sharp, but occasionally shaky when the heat's on. Tom Aspinall, calm, calculated, and lethal when the moment counts. It wasn't a flashy prediction, but a confident belief that Tom could stay composed and deliver when it matters most.
Sometimes you watch sparring videos of him, and I'm like, stop putting out sparring videos. The amount of weaknesses that I'm seeing, and chin up in the air. And I'm like, but in the fight, when it's all, and I think Ciryl Gane might be the opposite. This is why I trust in Tom.
Yeah.
Because Gane is really technical looking, but when the stakes are the highest, he does seem to have his worst showings and make his worst decisions. And Tom seems to be the opposite. So I think it's a recipe for a Tom win. And we could be looking at that Pereira fight.
Johnson then looked beyond the matchup itself. He spoke about how this fight brings new life to the heavyweight division, calling it the reset the sport needed. He emphasized how good it feels to finally see Aspinall active again after injuries and setbacks, saying fans are about to witness the best version of him yet.
And then finally, Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane the fight, because Ciryl Gane, he's a very big athletic heavyweight, right? Like he's got some good wins. And I just want to see Tom Aspinall more active. I feel we've lost a couple years of seeing him active, and I'm excited for him just to get out there and just fight, just to see him fight.
Yeah.
MMA Guru pointed out that Tom's time away from the octagon might have been a blessing in disguise. He talked about the evolution happening behind the scenes. Tougher training partners, more focused routines, and smarter preparation. According to him, these quiet improvements are what turn good fighters into great ones, and Tom could be on the verge of showing exactly that.
I like that though for him, because I do think he was a bit green. You know, he doesn't have many fights. And because of his inactivity, you know, his knee injury after the first Blaydes fight and stuff kind of kept him out from a lot of that as well. So I kind of think this is going to be good. Maybe he's been refining things. He's got Ante Delija in the gym. He's got he's been training with Rico Verhoeven in his kickboxing. And I think this has been good for him. You know, he's even got my man Phil DeFries, the GOAT himself. You know, he's some KSW heavyweight champion for the past decade or something. Like he just keeps beating these guys at KSW heavyweight. But yeah, Tom Aspinall, I'm looking forward to it.
By the end, both experts shared the same sentiment. This fight could define the next face of the heavyweight division. No hype, no exaggeration, you know, just honest respect for what's about to unfold. And between the lines, it was clear they believe Tom Aspinall might be ready to take over.
Yeah, I just think the wrestling and the grappling and the speed of Tom Aspinall, he's a heavyweight, but he doesn't move like a natural heavyweight. Like, he has really good footwork, really fast. Obviously, he's strong and powerful. Yeah, I think Tom Aspinall right now, I just don't see any, you know, somebody might surprise me, but right now I just don't see anybody that would really be a good matchup for Tom Aspinall that would give him a challenge, you know. As of right now, I could be wrong, but
when Michael Bisping broke down the matchup, his approach was direct and analytical. He noted how evenly matched Gane and Aspinall are in terms of athleticism, movement, and balance. Both are incredibly agile for their size. Still, Bisping leaned slightly toward Gane being smoother on his feet, but where things shifted in his opinion was power. He suggested that Aspinall hits harder, the kind of heavy hands that can instantly change the course of a fight. Bisping hinted that this knockout potential makes Tom a constant threat, whether on the ground or standing toe-to-toe with Gane.
In terms of the matchup, they're both big men, similar sizes. They're both athletic, very athletic. They're fast, the pair of them. They're both very coordinated. I think if I had to give an advantage to Ciryl, it'd be in the, you know, maybe in the movement. Maybe he's a little slicker on the feet, but he's not as powerful as Tom. And Tom's certainly slick as we know.
Bisping then turned his focus to the ground game. He didn't hesitate to say that if Aspinall decides to wrestle, he'll likely succeed. In his mind, Tom's grappling is the real difference maker here. He even warned that unless Gane dedicates serious time to improving his takedown defense, things could go downhill fast. Bisping painted a scenario where Gane's lack of preparation on the mat could cost him, a subtle but firm prediction that grappling could tilt the entire fight.
But the wrestling, the grappling side of things, it's not even a conversation. It's not a conversation. So. Tom should be able to take him down if he chooses to. So if Ciryl Gane isn't training in Dagestan for 2-3 months, years, days, weeks,
or Arkansas,
brother.
Yeah, he's just go down there with brass.
Get up there with brass. If he's not just solely working on his grappling.
Even so, Bisping didn't completely count Gane out. He acknowledged Gane's skill and awareness, saying Tom will need to prepare carefully because surprises can happen in heavyweight fights. But ultimately, Bisping returned to the same key points. Aspinall's power and wrestling give him a clear path to victory if he executes them right.
Then he's a fool.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tom's probably got bigger power. Tom might just knock him out on his feet as well. And I'm not saying that Ciryl can't be a force and Ciryl can't compete and Ciryl can't surprise us all, because he can. And Tom knows that. That's why he'll train accordingly. But the grappling is a big question mark.
Big question mark.
Curtis Blaydes offered a straightforward, respectful analysis of the fight. He pointed out that Aspinall's grappling could quietly decide the outcome. Blaydes, a top grappler himself, knows how valuable that control can be. He said that Tom has the ability to take the fight to the ground whenever he chooses. Not as arrogance, but as an informed opinion from someone who understands that level of skill. His tone carried confidence without hype. Blaydes added that if Tom makes it past the opening round and the fight stretches longer, he'd favor Aspinall to win. It was a measured take, honest, grounded, and insightful.
I believe that Aspinall does have the advantage though in that the grappling department. I believe that whenever he wants to, he'll be able to put Ciryl on his back, and he may not have to, but I believe he can if he does have to, and I believe that'll be the difference if he gets out of the first round. I'll go with
Aspinall. I think he's just got more ways to win. Hits a lot harder, and just, I think Gane's advantage over everybody was his speed, and I think Tom Aspinall is just as fast, if not faster, especially with the hands and the boxing and stuff, and he's got submission wins too. So.
James Lynch began by explaining how this fight even came together. With limited contenders available, the UFC narrowed it down to Ciryl Gane or Alexander Volkov. Gane was the fresher, more appealing choice for Aspinall's comeback. Lynch compared their physical stats, size, reach, and age, noting how close they are on paper, though Tom brings more momentum and youth into this one.
Take place. It was pretty much whether they were going to go with Gane, who did win his last fight technically, or they were going to go with Alexander Volkov. There really weren't any other contenders for Tom Aspinall, in my opinion. I know some people talked about Jailton Almeida. Come on. I mean, Almeida lost a couple fights ago. Gane does make sense in the situation because it's a fresh matchup, right? So I completely understand that. Let's do a quick tale of the tape between these two. Of course, Aspinall becoming the champion with John Jones retiring, so he's the undisputed champ. Aspinall is 32 years old. He's 6'5" with a 78-inch reach. Ciryl Gane is 35 years old. He's 6'4" with an 81-inch reach. So Ciryl Gane going to have a slight reach advantage in this fight at 81, but Tom Aspinall an inch taller, and Aspinall is going to be a couple years younger.
Lynch then brought up Gane's previous performance, and that's where the discussion got interesting. Yes, the official results showed Gane winning, but many in the media felt otherwise. That made Lynch question whether Gane's current form is strong enough to handle a surging Aspinall.
Gane's got a bit of a layoff too. He has not fought since the Volkov fight, which was back in December, so a bit of a layoff for him coming into this one as well. And I mentioned the fight with Volkov. Listen, I'm a big Ciryl Gane fan, but I don't think he won that last fight. He got a split decision there, and the media agrees with me here. If you look at the scorecards and MMA decisions, just one media member scored the fight for Gane. Everyone else scored it for Volkov. Not a good decision there. I don't know. I think really this is not a fight that favors Ciryl Gane very well.
And when evaluating the actual matchup, Lynch highlighted Gane's strengths, his striking technique and footwork. But he also mentioned what's missing, that one-punch knockout power. He believes Aspinall's experience against top strikers gives him an advantage here, even if the fight stays standing. To Lynch, Gane's usual weapons might not be enough to stop Tom's pressure and precision.
Stays standing. Gane's possibly got a chance here. He's got good striking. He's very technical. Doesn't really have like the one-punch knockout power he used to. He does have wins by knockout, but they're not really like TKO. They're more like TKO victories as opposed to like Francis Ngannou punches, right? So I suppose, that could happen here too. But, even if it's on the feet, I think Aspinall has shown that he can hold his own. But on the ground, Aspinall's got a huge advantage. I mean, this is a guy that, is 4 wins by submission.
Lynch's final focus was on Aspinall's finishing ability. He reminded fans that Tom rarely lets fights go the distance. He ends them early, usually with smart grappling and relentless pressure. For Lynch, that's the blueprint for victory. Take Gane down, control the fight, and push him into deep waters where he's least comfortable.
It's 4 wins by submission. Finished. Volkov submitted him in the first round. Finished Andrei Arlovsky. He's got a good ground game here, and I think if you're Tom, why mess around on the feet? Get this fight to the floor and submit Ciryl Gane. And I think he will. I think if you look at Tom Aspinall's career, he is a finisher. He's not someone that goes to the judges' scorecards here. Has yet to hit the judges' scorecards in the UFC. Actually, I don't think he's even hit He hasn't even hit the judges' scorecards in his career. This is a guy that's used to finishing. Now, if he can't finish early.
And that's where he wrapped things up, calling this one of the most exciting heavyweight clashes in recent memory. Whether it's Aspinall's killer instinct or Gane's polished technique, this matchup has everything fans could ask for. The outcome could redefine the entire division. Who do you think walks out victorious? Let us know in the comments below.